Hey y'all, it's your girl Rose here, just coming to you guys with some more law school journey. I literally just got home finishing my first week of law school. Y'all, and it's crazy. Like, the first week happened, I made it. Not only did I survive, but I thrived.
People just don't know what I'm about. They haven't seen what's there behind my smile. There's so much more of me I'm showing now. These are the pieces of me.
So I figured it's only right that I share my top 10 tips for you to make it through your first week, because honestly y'all, I had a great week. Not to say it wasn't challenging, but I had a really good first week. It's a little hot in my house. So, okay. So tip number 1 is something that needs to happen maybe like the weekend before your first week of law school, but plan your schedule. What I mean by plan your schedule, actually, hold on. So here I have my planner, and what I mean by plan your schedule, like, you should actually know. So like the weekend before school started, I don't know if you guys can see this, but maybe kinda, let's see, I went ahead and actually like planned the work that I was going to do that weekend for classes that was coming up maybe Monday and Tuesday. But you need to have a plan for the whole week for your work, for your workouts, for things, obligations that you have outside of being a law school student. Like, I have so many friends who are parents, and so they don't have as much flexibility. So you need to have a plan, because this is what my schedule looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a lot of marks, okay? And I had everything planned down to the half hour, the hour. You want to know what you're doing and when you're doing it, especially when it comes to these assignments and things like that. So first tip, make a schedule before the first week of school to get through the first week of school. Include when you're going to class, like the exact time you have class. Include the exact time you plan to do your readings. If you have other obligations, put them on the schedule for the exact time that you're going to do it. If you have to cook dinner, put that on the schedule, because I'm telling you, making a schedule and sticking to it is not just going to be key for this first week of law school, but it's going to be vital for you throughout your whole time in law school. Along with planning, do your work. So tip number 2 is to complete your readings and brief your cases. If you haven't started law school or had law school orientation, you're not probably going to know what I mean by brief your cases, but essentially that means that you're gathering the essential facts, the holding, the reasonings. All these terms will make sense when you get into law school, or will start to make sense when you get into law school. But you need to read your readings and brief your cases, and that's going to take time. This is a casebook. This is the casebook for my contracts class. We have like 20 plus pages of reading per night, you know, for a class. So you need to do your reading so that you can be prepared. The reason why you need to be prepared, 1, because you're paying for law school, right? So let's not waste your money. But 2, your professor will call on you, and you won't know when you're going to get called on. That's called the Socratic method. I'm sure you heard about it. It's not, you don't really need to be scared of it, but you do need to realize that when you are prepared, you have nothing to fear, because in law school, sometimes there's not a right answer, and it's okay if you don't have the right answer. It's not okay for you not to have an answer. So I hope that makes sense. Like, it's okay if you gathered a wrong fact and when you're called upon, you say that fact and it's wrong. It's not okay for you to be called upon and for you to say, oh, I didn't read, or oh, I don't know because I'm not prepared. That is not okay. Your professors don't like it. Don't be that person. Tip number 3, arrive early to class. I'm gonna say that again. Arrive early to class. 1, if you arrive early, you get a better seat, and I'm telling you, I know people, I'm a front row person who sits in the front row. My peers have learned that it's fine, it's not a big deal, but I have to sit in the front row so that I can hear very well and I can see, because almost all of my professors write on the whiteboard, and I want to be able to see what they're writing and not have to squint or wonder if my notes are correct. But arrive early to class, and I don't mean arrive on time. If you arrive on time, you might as well arrive late. If your class starts at 9 and you get there at 9, you might as well be late, because it's a problem. That's one thing I'm seeing in law school. Like, arriving on time is arriving late. Now, I will say, if you are bold enough to arrive late, be ready to be embarrassed. I'm not sure I wasn't gonna be late, but I didn't know how serious it was gonna be for the people who are late. When you arrive late, they stop what they're doing, they watch you walk, wait till you sit down, and then they will recap why you shouldn't have been late to their class. I even have a professor that it's in our syllabus, it's a rule, if you arrive late to their class, they will dock your grade. And I'm just like, that's silly to lose points for being late. Like, there's no reason to be late. If you're confused on something, there were times where I was confused, ask a question. Like, I have just been extremely impressed and just gracious. Not gracious. My professors are gracious. I have been extremely grateful for just the kindness of all of my professors and their willingness to just allow people to process and ask questions. Like, it has been awesome. So, like, don't think that you're the only one who doesn't know. Like, ask, because I'm pretty sure your question can help tons of people who may be nervous. So if you have a question, mark it in your notes, ask then, or go to office hours and ask a peer who you've seen thrive in class. Like, just don't let that class period, don't get to the next class period without you understanding something. I believe this is tip number 5, but I don't really remember. Make friends. Do engage. Like, I have made some sweet friends who are in the grind with me, who I can process stuff with, who I can ask questions, who have been encouraging me this week. Like, it's crucial, and you need people who can identify with what you're going through as a first-year law student, but who also are in there with you. So if you have people in your section who can help you, that's just going to benefit you in the long run. Who care about you, that's going to benefit you in the long run. So make friends, get to know people, be genuine, don't be fake. Like, don't be fake. Don't be fake. Be you. Be genuine. Just be kind. Like, I had a motto, I'm throwing kindness like confetti. Dress professionally, whether that be, even if you're wearing jeans, like, wear nice jeans, right? Like, give yourself a little confidence in how you dress, but be professional in your speech, in your dress, in your actions in and out of class. It's just, you never know who's watching and you never know who's around. So just remember that you are representing yourself, and as an extension of that, you are representing the law school. And so be mindful of your words and your actions. So if there are some events that happen, maybe orientation week or like the week right before law school, attend those events, guys. And I'll probably make a separate video about that. But if you want, let me know if you want a separate video about attending events before law school. But I say that because I met so many people, lawyers, judges, statesmen, like so many people. And I was actually invited by 2 judges to their courtrooms. And so one I went to visit during orientation, loved it, got to see her courtroom, got to see some motions and some hearings, got to talk with her after seeing all these things and ask her questions. She introduced me to other judges. Big deal. And at another event for my law school, I met another judge who worked in drug court, and he invited me and a couple of my classmates to his courtroom, and we got to see how drug court works. We got to see this kind of redemptive restorative program that he started, which is so awesome. We got to ask him questions. I say that to say, like, if somebody invites you to something and you can go, because it seemed from talking to these 2 judges that they invite first years or second years or third year law students out to their their space, and people just don't take them up on it. And they were very impressed that we took the time in our busy schedules to come see them, even though we were grateful that they invited us, right? And so attend events, actually network, put your name out there, put yourself out there. You know, let people get to know who you are, because in the summer next year, you're going to be looking for job opportunities. You're going to need to be able to go back and maybe reach back to some of those people who invited you, and they might have opportunities for you, right? And so be known in however the capacity that you can. Now, again, I will say they invited us to these spaces. We took them up on the offer. It was awesome. And I'm interested to see what other opportunities come out through that. Along those lines, if someone invites you and you go, send them a thank you letter. I sent letters through the mail. I thought that was a little more personal, but thank them for their time and their extension. That's just a life note. Like when people do kind stuff for you, say thank you. Another thing I would say be intentional about is getting sleep. And I guess that depends on the type of person you are, but I think at the end of the day, every person needs a healthy sleep pattern. So if you plan your schedule and you do what's on your schedule, maybe you can get to bed at a decent time, but you need to rest. Like, guys, there were so many times this week where it's like 10:30 and my eyes are closing and I'm like, I still have this stuff to do, and I'm like, okay, you know what, Rose, you're gonna go to sleep. So I would go to sleep 10:30 and I would get up at 4 to finish my case briefs, whatever the case may be. But to me, it just makes no sense to kind of stay up when you're not even processing the information because you're so tired. Like, you don't even know what you just read and you just keep rereading the same thing over and over and over because you want to say you got it done, but you're not comprehending it. And so I would say plan your rest, get your rest, take your rest. All right, this one's a biggie. Pack your lunch. This is my lunch box. Okay, y'all, it's actually not my lunchbox. my friend, one of my best friends, started letting me use her lunchbox because I need to get my own lunchbox. But she had two, so she let me use one. So have a lunchbox. If it's not your own, borrow one. But pack your lunch. You will find, unless you got big money, your people got money, you straight, whatever. Law school's already expensive, and any place that you can save money on, you should. And I don't know where you're going to school, but like my law school is downtown. Downtown eating ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. No. So I packed my lunch, saved tons of money. And this is my final tip, I believe, unless I think of one more while I'm talking. But meet your faculty and staff at your school. There is something amazing about being known and knowing others, and your professors are, of course, key for your academic success, but they have a lot of life and they have a lot of experience, and they can give you really good advice. Get to know your staff, get to know the security at the front desk. You know, they're holding it down, making sure you're safe. Like, just be somebody who sees people. I can't express, I mean, you know how it feels, right? When someone sees you and they acknowledge you, like, that's just warming to your heart. So why not be somebody who has that character in law school? Why not provide that joy to others? But I will say it's been a great week. I can't, my mouth hurts from how happy I am about how good this first week of law school went for me. And I know the journey's hard. That's another thing. Like, encourage yourself. Like, I know the journey's going to be difficult, but I just know this is where I'm supposed to be as I sit there and study cases, as I'm up late, as I'm like doing all these things. Like, I know that's where I'm supposed to be, and it feels good to be where God would want me to be and to be learning these things. And that's just, it's amazing. But as always, this is your girl Rose with another video brought to you about the law school journey. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace, peace, and peace. I used to say love, peace, and hair grease, and if you don't got no hair, you can keep the love and the peace, but all y'all probably got hair. But if you don't, keep the love and the peace, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.